right, welcome to Matt Talk, a video podcast for the friends and family of Coming First United Methodist Church. From me, Pastor Matt. Well, Merry Christmas to you. I know yesterday was Christmas, but today is the second day of Christmas. There's 12 days, so we got 10 more to go. And we'll finish with January the 6th, which is Epiphany. Some people don't even know the difference between Epiphany and Christmas, or that there is a difference between the Epiphany and Christmas. We kind of just wash it all together. The wise men are at the stable with the shepherds and Mary and Joseph, and it's all right there underneath the star and the angels. But that's really not the way it's told. If we look at the Gospels, first of all, we won't find the Gospel of Mark talking about the birth of Jesus at all. Secondly, we go to the Gospel of John, and we don't find any birth narrative there as well. John just talks about how in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So we go to Luke's Gospel, where we know there's a birth narrative there because we love that story about how Mary and Joseph went to Bethlehem, how Jesus was born, and how the shepherds out in the field heard the angels declaring the good news of great joy. And so the shepherds go and find Mary and Joseph, and they find Jesus laying in a manger. Well, that's the story that we know best, but then we kind of add in the story that we get also from Matthew. Matthew's gospel doesn't tell us about Mary and Joseph going to Bethlehem. They don't tell us about the shepherds. They don't tell us about angels. They tell us about Joseph having a dream, and they tell us about that Jesus was born, and that after Jesus was born, some magi come following a star they had seen, and that had declared to them that a new king had been born, and they were looking for this new king. We talk about the three kings, but it wasn't three necessarily. It doesn't say that. We just get that from the gold, frankincense, and myrrh, the three gifts that they bought. And maybe they weren't probably kings either. They were more like astrologers. I mean, after all, they had been watching the stars, and they had seen the star of the newborn king. And so they come. We suspect that they probably arrived when Jesus was about 2 years old. So he wasn't at the manger anymore, and he wasn't there with the angels and the shepherds. They came probably 2 years later. We get that from the fact that Herod killed all the children that were 2 years and younger, trying to get rid of this newborn king. And so it's a totally different story. The story of Luke is the story that we associate with Christmas. The story of Matthew and the Magi coming is the story that we associate with Epiphany, the time that we come to realize that this baby born is really something quite special, that even Gentiles, these Magi from afar, come and acknowledge that Jesus is something special, that he is a newborn king, even though he's the king of a different sort. So it's two different stories. I often think about this when I see Christmas trees. And maybe you can stop and think about your own Christmas tree. Or is it a Christmas tree? Maybe you have an Epiphany tree. I know when we were growing up, we had an Epiphany tree. Though we called it a Christmas tree, it really was an Epiphany tree. What's the difference? Well, on the top of our Christmas tree, back in the day, we had a star. Well, a star is not a part of the Christmas story. The star is what led the Magi, the Epiphany story. If you have an angel on the top of your tree, now that's a Christmas tree because that's the Christmas story. The angels came to the shepherds out in the fields. So Christmas and Epiphany, they're two different things. We celebrate them differently. We don't have to kind of mash them all together. Maybe you will leave your Magi from your manger scene to the side for a while. Or maybe just put them up until January 6th comes. Yes, it's still okay to have the Christmas decorations up at January 6th. We just have finished the 12 days of Christmas. Bring the Magi out then and celebrate Epiphany and get to learn the greatness of this season when we truly have open eyes and open hearts to that this Christ has come and we are looking for new epiphanies and new understandings of who he is and what he truly means to us. Well, Merry Christmas for the next 10 days, and then Happy Epiphany. I pray both are a blessed time in your life. Always know I love being your pastor, and until we meet again, May the peace of the living Christ be with you.